Welcome to today's edition of the Take 15 podcast, created by me, Sally Walker of SW Career Coaching Limited. The idea behind the podcast is that I have a 15-minute coffee break length conversation with people who are in roles that are of interest to you as job searchers or career changers. I ask 5 information gathering questions to help you learn more about this role and whether it matches your expectations. So today's 15 minutes is with career coach Rachel Mackay. Welcome, Rachel.
Thanks, Sally. It's good to see you. Good to
lovely.
Hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Rachel, obviously we've not got a huge amount of time, so could you briefly just tell us what your career path has been to becoming a career coach?
Yes, it's been quite an interesting one. So yeah, I left school at 18 with A levels, and I started my career at a paper mill, and then I moved into pharmaceuticals, and I did my degree part-time, my applied chemistry degree part-time, which I have to say I haven't used very much of during the time. So I worked in labs and then into compliance and quality, and I kind of worked my way up at the career ladder to the point where I was a global quality director. And I had the privilege of leading teams who were based in the UK, in the US, Ireland, Singapore, Europe, and I really loved the part of where I helped to develop teams and develop people. And I had my first experience of coaching myself probably about 19 years ago now, and I found it really life-changing, and tried to sort of add and adapt my style of leadership based on the coaching experience I had. And then I would say that in 2019, I was offered a redundancy package. There was a reorganisation and my role was eliminated. And I really had no intention of working again. I wanted to have some time off, to travel, to see the world. And then I received an email in December 2019 from the Coaching Academy inviting me to do a coaching diploma. And that was kind of it. I'd been getting that email for 5 years, and suddenly it was like, this is the right time for me to do a coaching diploma. And then I was off really. I myself had a career coach as part of my redundancy package, and I remember seeing how that went, thinking I could do this, never really thinking I would. But in 2020, I took part in an assessment centre with a company called LHH, who do outplacement support, and that's part of what I do now. I provide support to people going through redundancy. I also have my private clients that I coach as well. So, I've had 17 career transitions myself. I've been through redundancy. I almost retired, but felt I was too young to do that. So that's kind of how I've got to where I am today, sitting in front of you.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Really helpful to hear that variety and that opportunity to kind of shift at a particular point to something totally different. Great.
Yeah. And I think it really helps with empathy with the people that I work with as well.
Exactly. Can you describe a sort of typical day in your life as a career coach?
Not really. I mean, I can, but a typical day. So I devote 3 days a week to working with my candidates who are going through outplacement, and whilst it might be quite similar each day in terms of helping people with their CVs, their LinkedIn profiles, helping them to strengthen their interview skills, it's different because people are different, and that's what's so fascinating. So I spend a lot of time helping practically, but also there's a lot of confidence building as well. But some people have been in their roles 10, 20, 30 years. So I'm helping with that to increase their confidence that they actually will find another role. And it's the same with my private work, really, that people are at crossroads and maybe don't know what they want to do next. So I I ask questions to help them understand themselves what it is they want to do next. And that's very much part of coaching. It's not me telling people what to do next. It's helping them to unravel that for themselves. So yeah, in my private work, it can be the first 90 days of a new job, so helping them put some structure into adding value immediately, or it can just be, yeah, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do next, and then we look at that bit by bit, and I help them with that.
Great, thank you very much. What do you like most about the role of career coach, and also is there anything or what you dislike would be interesting to find out about?
Well, there's very little I dislike about it, because it is actually my dream job. I absolutely love it. I suppose the thing I probably least like is the fact that most of it is still via Zoom or a sort of video platform. So I'm really looking forward to being able to do more in-person coaching. But actually, the fact that we're using video platforms is really useful and really helpful too. I'm coaching people in Canada, in the US. It's just a very normal thing, and that's what I love. Is I love walking side by side, like virtually, with someone, and helping them rediscover themselves sometimes, and just being able to help them to ask questions, and just I love to hear from them when they've got their first interview, or they've got their new role, and the excitement that they feel with that, and I feel their excitement as well. And it's just it's just great to walk side by side with someone else as they move on to the next chapter of their career.
Yeah, no, definitely that feeling really resonates when when somebody gets in touch and say, yes, I've done it, I've got it. That's such an amazing opportunity to have, from our side as career coaches. I agree with you.
And I think sort of believing in them when they don't believe in themselves necessarily is a real privilege as well, to be able to help them.
Yeah, very often the way that you help others to get confidence is by that sense of belief in them, isn't it? Yeah, good. What do you think are the main skills then and qualities that help you to be successful in this role as career coach, Rachel?
As someone who identifies themselves as an introvert, I have been listening to people for all of my life, pretty much. So listening skills, being able to hear what's being said and what's not being said, I think is really important. To be able to ask questions that are not from a place of judgment, but from a place of curiosity, because I think that really helps people to hear what they're actually saying themselves. I've had lots of examples where I've reflected back what I've heard people say, and they're like, I didn't say that. And it's like, yeah, you did. And that's actually led to them really having some quite transformational moments. So yeah, being able to reflect back. I think empathy, rather than sympathy, but people are talking about things sometimes for the first time, so having some empathy with that. And a sense of humor. I think that's one of the things that I take to my sessions. They might be, as I say, people might be talking about things for the first time, and I still like to bring some lightness to the session with an appropriate level. But I think having a sense of humor, and that's the feedback that I receive a lot, is that that having that sense of humor has help people.
Really good. No, excellent advice. Any insights or information you want to share with the podcast listeners, maybe to help them find out some more about becoming a career coach? Anything you'd like to share there?
Yeah, so there are lots of different courses that you could do. So I did a diploma with the Coaching Academy. I've Neuro-linguistic programming, NLP. I think that's a really great course, or a great course to do alongside the coaching diploma. because that really helps you understand about language and communication, which I think is so important with coaching. I would say there's nothing like practice. So, like, I personally know that when I first started, I needed my diploma, I needed to have a distinction, but it's the coaching practice that has actually really enhanced my skills. And nobody so far has asked me what grade I got, from my diploma. But I think doing a qualification just gives you a bit of confidence yourself, and it also helps you more with the framework that you want to use as part of your coaching. So I would recommend doing some education, taking some courses. I wouldn't say, but I would say to balance that with the client also is interested in your background, that it's not the coaching diploma or certificate per se that they're interested in. It's can you help them? And that's the key thing, and sort of building the rapport. I just think doing a course will give you a little bit of confidence yourself, but I very soon realized that the grade didn't make any difference. So I think they're probably the main things, mainly it's just practice. Go and coach as many people as you possibly can.
How did you go about getting those initial kind of clients, just out of interest, Rachel, from a career coaching point of view?
Yeah, so some of them I got through doing my diploma. So there was a lot of reciprocal coaching that we did, and that led to my first paying client, someone I'd been coaching for at no cost. Said one day, I need to pay you, and that was really exciting, but also that was a little bit scary as well. It's like the first time anyone had paid me directly for my experience, and then it's been word of mouth. It has literally been word of mouth, networking, meeting someone at a networking event and having a chat, and that has led to work. So I think just tell people you're a coach, you're a career coach. Tell them what you do, and you maybe coach other people, and just show them that that's what you do, and then they'll recommend you to other people.
Yeah, no, great advice. And obviously you've gone the route of having an associateship with a large career consultancy as well, as another way of getting clients there. So that's another possibility that people might explore as well.
Yeah, I think so. And I think the sort of key thing is they will come, your clients will come, and it might feel slow at times, but they will come, and just trust that is what's going to happen. Visualize that, and very much of the belief that if you visualize something, then you're being positive, and you're opening yourself to that positivity and that possibility. But I think just tell people, and if it's a career change for yourself, that can feel a bit difficult to start with, because you want to feel authentic, but the more you say it, the more you will believe it, and your clients will definitely believe it.
Super. I love that image of visualizing kind of where you want to get to, and imagining yourself as a career coach, and then it happening. Really lovely place to draw our 15-minute conversation to a close, Rachel. I think. Thanks so much for sharing today, all about your role as a career coach.
Thanks for having me, Sally.
It's a pleasure. Thanks very much for your time. Bye-bye.